Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and this one's gonna be juicy. And yeah, I've been away for a while, but we're back to discuss the new drama that's been happening. Drama involving multiple people, alright? I've been away, and obviously as you've probably seen, Hasan has allegedly shot his dog, and it's pretty clear as you can see by the evidence here. And Emiru got assaulted at TwitchCon. Here's a clip, but I won't show the part where she gets assaulted because of YouTube. So yeah, Twitch is practically panicking about this attention at this point. Emiru now is allegedly calling out Miskif in newest drama, and it's not really looking good. And honestly, man, pretty sad stuff. So grab your popcorn because this is going to be juicy. Subscribe. So yeah, we're talking about Emiru finally coming forward about her alleged experiences with Miskif and everything that comes pouring out since then, including claims of manipulation, retaliation, and she also claims he's been planning on running a pretty dog smear campaign on her to ruin her reputation, which is bizarre. And it's not an easy topic, so we're gonna keep things respectful here, but still honest, because what's unfolding right now between the two of Twitch's biggest names is basically tearing apart years of public image, friendships, and trust in the streaming scene. So let's start from the top. Emiru, for anyone who's unfamiliar, is a streamer who's been part of OTK, that's Miskip's organization, that has built a community largely around cosplaying, gaming, and variety streaming. She's also known for having a calm, positive vibe, which makes this all the more jarring. According to her recent stream, she's also been carrying a lot of pain for a long time, not just experiences at TwitchCon where she's allegedly assaulted due to negligence by event security, which was horrible, but also from what she describes as ongoing emotional and verbal abuse in her relationship with Miskif. She said she tried to keep things private, but she said it was getting too out of hand behind the scenes, and allegedly Miskif was threatening to reveal some damning information about her, which was pretty weird, spreading rumors that apparently she abuses her animals and has led to the death of her pet rabbits, so she couldn't stay silent any longer. I'll play the clip here.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Ms. Kip has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done.
Now, this is where the internet picked up gasoline and threw it on the fire. After Miskif allegedly threatened to go nuclear, he was later seen or heard suggesting that Emiru had been neglectful with her rabbits, the same rabbits, mind you, that she had publicly mourned multiple times after they passed due to the illness. This led to Papa Gut chiming in a viral tweet saying, and I quote, "Rabbits can die from loud noises. How do we know if Miskif's destructive behavior, punching walls and breaking doors, didn't create an environment that caused the rabbits to fail?" And honestly, yeah, that's a fair question, because even if we put the rumors aside, it's not hard to imagine living with someone volatile could affect animals or even people, just like Emiru. This tweet sparked a lot of controversy online, and some people saw it as reaching, and others saw it as finally asking what no one else wanted to, whether this kind of anger and destruction is part of a bigger pattern. Then came Miskif's stream where he addressed some of the allegations, and it didn't really go over too well. He admitted he'd spoken to someone on Emiru's team at TwitchCon, but the standout quote that's haunting him from now was this.
Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at TwitchCon? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that is what's going to happen. Because you can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose.
That's not exactly what people want to hear from people being accused of being manipulative or retaliatory. It almost sounds like a threat. And that's how the internet took it, to be honest, because that's pretty weird behavior. And Sneeko mocked the tone of this in a clip I'll play here.
This is the worst humiliation ritual I've ever seen, bro. Why do men have to go... We cuddled and then we kissed. On September 3rd, 2021, I fondled her hair consensually, and then I told her she's my pookums.
Pretty funny. I mean, I don't really like Sneeko, but that was pretty funny, to be honest. And Stable Ronaldo even was shown here completely confused, literally saying this.
I'm ashamed that the situation's got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was gonna...
Wait, so she... No, I gotta be getting trolled. Wait, I'm not even kidding. Is this a joke? Did I just hear him say she threw a plushie at it? That's fucking, like...
Like, that is true. I honestly agree. Like, how does that show that this is abusive? Like, it's like he just is reaching out with the most small things and just weird nitpicks that he's making up in his brain to use against her. It is pretty bizarre, and, you know, it makes you think a little. Now, shortly after, Emiru revealed she's filing restraining orders in both Texas and California, clearly taking legal steps to protect herself, and she also thanks streamers who supported her privately, saying this.
I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening, and a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all. But I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own grievances. For the people who did know about this, thank you for being there for me through all of this.
And that says a lot, and they suggested this wasn't completely hidden. Maybe it was ignored or brushed off by some people in the scene, which is pretty sad, but she also did say that obviously a lot of people didn't know what was happening, so we can't go attacking or witch hunting streamers that may be involved, but at the same time, it's pretty weird because you never know the extent that people knew and just kept this a secret. But obviously, if someone's being hurt in this situation, you don't want to light up the victim, so once again, it's just a difficult situation. Meanwhile, Ethan Klein chimed in, reacting, saying he felt awful for Emiru and that she deserves better here on his Instagram story, and that sentiment has been echoed all over Twitter from fans, creators, and even some of Miskip's old peers. And now we have AsmonGold even chiming in himself, a friend of Emiru's and Miskip's longtime collaborator and co-founder of OTK, who addressed the situation directly. He apologized for platforming Miskip, saying he couldn't have known at the time, but when he realized what was going on, he tried to deal with it properly. And that's a big statement because OTK has already had mysteries of messy controversies, and Asmon's clearly trying to separate himself from whatever comes next. And yeah, man, it's pretty sad he got wrapped into this though, because he is friends of Emiru, so I'm sure they've talked about this, and I'm sure, you know, it's been difficult to come to terms that Miskif is the person and he has to disassociate. I'll play the clip here.
And I said at the beginning, right, I said, it will be bad and it's not my story to tell. And I think you guys can see why now. I apologize for two things, for vague posting about it and saying that. And I also apologize for platforming him, right? I mean, the truth is I couldn't have known, I didn't know any of this whenever I met him. Whenever we started OTK together, I had no idea. And when I did realize, you can see kind of the way that I dealt with it and everything. And
now the internet is pretty split on this. Some people feel like Emiru was being brave, breaking her silence in a male-dominated scene that often laughs off abuse until it's undeniable. And others are saying Miskif's career might be beyond repair at this point, no matter what he says next. And to be honest, I completely agree with both sides. Like, we don't know yet fully concretely. There's a 3-hour video which she's uploaded. There's some screenshots and evidence that she's provided. I'm not going to go into all of it in today's video as it's too long. I suggest you go there and research it yourself. But, you know, as of right now, we don't know if there's going to be any charges done or legally, if it's going to be confirmed or not. So I have to say it's alleged, but it does look extremely bad on Miskif's side. I'm not going to defend the guy here. I'm going to be clear and see that it's not right. But the cynical part of the community is just treating this like another Twitch drama week, which is a bit sad because it feels like there's just more and more drama each week, and like we're just moving through news cycles like it's nothing. And it's pretty sad that this is at the expense of someone's personal boundaries and their mental health. Like, this is so sad. It's like exactly what happened with the Hasan dog situation. Like, people are using it as drama, but it is also at the expense of a dog being abused, which is pretty sad, which you've actually got to realize. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's clear that this is deeper than streamer drama, and there's a pattern here that often we've seen way too many times in online entertainment, which is pretty weird that this happens all the time, just in YouTube spaces, things like that. When you get famous, just start abusing people. Like, it's so weird. But yeah, public image and private toxicity have been colliding a lot recently, and it's left the audience to figure out who to believe, which is a difficult thing to do, and it leaves people not knowing who to trust anymore. So yeah, if there's one takeaway from this, is that behind all the memes, the viewers, and the Twitch clips, these are still real people, and damage doesn't just disappear when the camera's off. So yeah, let's hope both sides get the help and the accountability they need, and maybe, just maybe, Twitch learns to take its creators' safety a little more seriously. Like, it has been messing up a lot recently, just allowing people who have assaulted, basically they gave that person who assaulted Emiru a 30-day ban. Like, what? That was less time than the security guard that it was actually hired to help her got banned for. He got banned for life for actually protecting her, leading to her actually getting assaulted. And now, you know, this has happened to her, which is pretty sad. So yeah, it's not a good situation, but if you do want to stay tuned, I suggest you do subscribe.